Please put your paws together for Kelsey Wheeler with So an Introvert Walks into an Animal Shelter.
When I graduated college, I was all set. I got married, I got a couple pets, and I got a job that I love. And that newfound freedom was great for a few years before I realized when I got home at night, I didn't quite know what to do with myself. This was my whole weekend, and I started feeling lazy. Now, my job during the week is really awesome. I get to work with a lot of really fun and cool people. I just didn't feel like a very well-rounded kind of person. And it's kind of dark, and sorry, Mom and Dad, but go with me here. I wondered if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, what would people say about me at my funeral? Kelsey really hated the Gilmore Girls Netflix reboot, which is true. I knew I needed to get out and do something, so I decided to find a volunteer position. But there was only one problem with that idea. I am really timid in unfamiliar environments where I'm not completely in control of the situation. Take Chipotle, for example. It took me a long time to get comfortable ordering at Chipotle, and if you're shy, you get it. You have to talk a lot. I had a really well-defined comfort zone, so the idea of joining some kind of organization where I had to talk to people that I didn't know very well is really intimidating. But shyness be damned, I had to try. And that's when I thought about the Cat House No-Kill Shelter here in Lincoln. We adopted both of our cats from there, and it was a really positive experience both times. So when I realized, oh, limited interaction with other people, cats, sign me up, perfect. I got assigned to clean the same 2 rooms every Sunday morning, and it became one of the best parts of my week. I go in there, clean their rooms, give them their food, and I play with the same cats every time. But that's just the beginning of the real story that I came here to tell you. Because after about a year of volunteering at the Cat House, I told the head of the shelter, hey, if you ever need a foster home, I would be happy to help. Shelters like the Cat House need foster homes for cats who have special needs or young kittens that are too little to be adopted yet. And that's how I ended up receiving this text message on Friday the 13th. We found a little kitten, she's pretty banged up, and she was all alone on a construction site. She needs a home to heal in. Do you want to do it? And I was really nervous because I didn't quite know what condition she was in yet, and I didn't know what level of care she was going to need. But then I remembered I was the one who wanted to make an impact in the universe, no matter how small, right? So I took them up on the offer, and I ended up saying yes, and I went to go and pick her up from the veterinarian. This is the day that I picked up Yuki from the vet. She had a metal rod poking out of her hip to help her femur heal correctly because it was broken. She had a gash down the front of her stomach that was an open wound, which is why she's wearing a little tutu. And she had a cold, so no pressure. Her first night with us, I was kind of a mess because as you can see, she could barely get herself lowered into a litter box on her own. I ended up just laying down a yoga mat and a camping pillow next to her so I could sleep next to her all night, just in case she needed me. And as she slept, all I could think about was Yuki alone on that construction site in the hot July sun, and I was so thankful that someone ended up finding her and that I got to be involved in giving her a better life too. And it's at about this point that my husband kindly told me, if you're in over your head, I'm sure the Cat House could find someone else to take care of her. They won't hate you. And I almost agreed, because my life would have been easier if I didn't have to deal with all of this. But then I realized, no, I was in exactly the place where I wanted to be, helping this tiny little thing get her antibiotics day and night, cleaning the gash on her stomach, giving her endless amounts of wet kitten food because she could eat. And what do you know, Yuki really did start to get better. And in the course of talking to her veterinarians and all the other shelter volunteers helping take care of her, my shyness, or at least a little layer of it, was starting to melt away. And it was great. And eventually we had to find Yuki a real home after she was with us for about 3 months. I think her adoption listing with the Cat House lasted about 60 minutes before someone applied and was accepted to come and meet her to possibly adopt her. And when her future adopter came to our house to meet her for the first time, I showed her pictures of Yuki on the day she came to meet. She couldn't even believe it was the same cat. I thought I had come a long way personally, but honestly, Yuki had come a lot farther, and I think you can see that there. Eventually, it was time for me already to pack up Yuki's extra food, all of her favorite toys, and a little care package, and I helped load her into a carrier, and she went to her new home. And I was sad that day, but I was also feeling something that I hadn't felt in a long time, which was proud of myself. I think introverts often get told that we need to break out of our comfort zones, But in reality, I've learned you just need to widen them a little bit. And if you're doing it for the right reason, it's really not that hard, especially if you only have to make room for a cat this small. Thanks.